Corrections. If you make a mistake, there's several ways that you can deal with editing oil paintings, and sometimes in acrylics these work too. So I'm going to take and put some paint where I'm not going to want it later. So I'm going to have some paint I've put down, and some of it I have an image underneath, some of it I don't. And let's just say I really decide I don't want that where I've got it. Okay, a couple options. You can take a rag, just a fabric rag, and you can literally just wipe away what you've got. That's going to take any kind of three-dimensional quality away. It's going to make it transparent again. Certainly not going to take all the color off. But if you paint over top of it, you're not going to be able to tell what's going on under there. You can take a rag, and if you put a little turp on it, it'll take it off better. So you can see in this area, I can take this off. And now this is an area we had underpainted before. If the underpainting is dry, the turp will not dissolve it, and I can change my mind. So if you make a mistake, or you get paint where you don't want it, especially if the lower level, the underpainting is dry, you can wipe it off completely. So that gets it off pretty clear, but it's critical that this painting level is dry. If I have a lot of paint on it, let's say I have a whole bunch, I could take a palette knife and scrape it off. Probably the most important thing would be to get the three-dimensional quality of any kind of impasto work off of the piece. Or you could just leave it there to dry, just make sure it's not three-dimensional at all, and come back and work it over. But a turp rag, you're going to find it's really going to lift a lot. If it has underpainting underneath it, it does okay. But if you have a turp rag and you just keep coming to a clean spot, you can lift a lot of that color off. Sometimes you don't have to repaint an area. Doesn't mean it's all going to come off, but you can lift it off several ways. You can just scrape it off with a with turpy rag. You can use a turp rag and clean off the area. You can just use a rag and clean it off, or you can just take a palette knife and scrape the dimension off if it doesn't make any difference whether or not the color remains. Those are several ways that you can add corrections to your piece.